Morning, pups. What are you guys doing? Dad's up there on the hill. You can probably just see the top of the tractor. He's getting the field ready for the mid-season cabbage, which we're gonna be planting hopefully here in a couple hours. While he's doing that, Mom ran downtown for buns from the local bakery, and I am coming here to the cultivating tractor. I gotta work on the potatoes today. Now the potatoes are gonna be a little bit different, and you'll see when I get down there, because instead of just doing one row, I'm gonna actually be doing two, because the potato planter is actually a 2-row planter. I know one of you guys asked about that in the comments. We can only do one row at a time because we only have a 1-row planter. And if that next row isn't exactly perfect, we'll be digging it up or derooting it or whatever it may be, and it's not gonna be good. Open my petcocks, and we should be ready to go. Wow, that was a little bit scary. I went to bump start it like we usually do from all the way up there underneath that little lean-to, and usually by the time we get down to here it started. Well, it didn't, and I got to here and I'm like, man, what am I gonna do? Dad's up in the field, he can't come right now. I'm gonna be a sitting duck. And so I thought, well, I see one little hill right here. We've never tried it before. I'm gonna give it one last shot, and I actually got it to start. So that was pretty awesome. So this is the potato field. You can kind of tell the difference between the red and the white. Down here is the white, up there is the red. I don't know how many rows I got done, but it's going faster than normal just because I'm doing 2 rows at once instead of only 1. And it's basically the same exact process. Just, you know, going right between the rows, trying to get all those weeds out, fluff up that ground a little bit without harming the plant in any way, shape, or form. I finished cultivating. Behind me, I don't know if you can see, Dad is filling a water tank for the cabbage we're gonna be planting here right after lunch. Now I'm coming out through the field here. Cole crops on my right. We got the vine crops on my left. Just looking here, the kohlrabi, actually, we could probably just about start to pick for the farm market. Pickles, well, they still got probably 2 weeks yet. Now that everything got that rain, it's gonna really take off, or at least hopefully it will. Sammy's out here working on the dill, just getting it weeded. And then once she's finished with that, she's gonna move into the beans. Because it got so hot and dry, we actually lost some of the herbs that we planted, the parsley, celery. The basil made it through just fine. Oregano, I don't know if she planted oregano or not. And then after that is the lettuce. And again, this was kind of a gamble. We didn't really know if it was gonna make it. Well, it's not gonna make it, it's just way too hot. Really, it should have been a white plastic, if anything, to keep it a little bit cooler. But like I said, we had the room, we figured we might as well try it. And I'm excited to get out here by the Kubota. That's where I planted the dill about a video or 2 ago. A couple days ago, I weeded 1 row of dill. I think it was this one here. I had grease all over my arm. And then Sammy came through and did these two and then that half a row. I ran out of seed, so I didn't get to plant anything there. So that looks awesome. Obviously it's got a long way to go though yet. And then when she finished that, she moved on to the beans and got right out there to where the cauliflower starts. So we still have quite a bit to go yet, but this is gonna be a huge, huge help. The dill isn't coming up quite yet. I'm hoping it does within the next day or two. It's making me a little bit nervous. I dug it back a little bit and I think I just planted it too deep because you can see it starting to sprout. It's only like 1.5 inches down there, but apparently it likes to be very, very shallow. So hopefully, like I said, within a day or two, you'll see green right up the row. We got 10 rows done so far. This is a very small field. It's just wide, so there's gonna be a lot of rows. They're just, you know, not long at all. We already got broccoli and I think Brussels sprouts in. We're gonna soon move into the cabbage. I think we're gonna do 2 drive roads all together. And so that's gonna basically just fill up this whole field. And then that'll be kind of nice. We can go right from the onions into the cole crops. My pap was here. He pulled most of the plants. They're all done now. All these here on the end are cabbage. Our main variety here is Cheers. The only reason we pull them is because it makes it easier for the planters, so that way they don't have to struggle pulling them out of these 6-packs here. Sammy and I came out here now to the garlic field. Mom's getting low at the farm market again. Some of these aren't quite as big as I thought they would be. That's a beauty right there. The nice part is the rain is kind of drying out of the soil, and so they're not full of big mud chunks. They're still not really ready to harvest though yet. Like the toes aren't quite filled out. And then the next step after getting them all pulled out is just lopping that top off. When we get them back to the shed or the greenhouse, we'll clean them up there. Real nice one.
Oh yeah.
That's good. And now we'll give them the rinse. It's satisfying how it just blows right off. We dropped that garlic off at the farm market. Now Sammy and I are heading out here to the blueberry patch. It's only like a half mile away from our farm market, and we're gonna pick a ton of blueberries. Well, at least hopefully we are. Stemrick Blueberry Farm. To be honest, I don't even know how many years he's been here, but it's been a while. There's not many people here right now, but that's kind of expected in the middle of the day on a Wednesday. We just got our buckets weighed, just like the strawberry patch. Now we're heading out in. Literally a sea of blueberry bushes. Goes all the way down there to the woods, and I think actually goes all the way around here. The only time it doesn't go to the woods is right here, because that's, I think, peach trees. Even the bushes that are not loaded yet with blueberries are loaded with green ones. We just got to find where the good ones are at. I would assume the best ones are back here in the back, but we're gonna find that out in a couple of minutes. Man, Sammy, these ones are huge. I just got to taste one. I am definitely no blueberry expert, but you can see how these like stems or branches, I guess you would call them, are coming down. And I would only assume it's because they're just absolutely loaded with tons of huge blueberries. So I guess that's not really a bad problem to have, as long as they don't start breaking off. Boy, I don't know why Sammy's passing all these beauties up. And we're off. We have Sammy in the back stretch.
You're actually recording that.
Sammy, don't drop them. You're gonna bruise them.
Oh, it's okay. I'll bruise them.
That's better. That one's loaded. Give me this bush. It seems like when you find a loaded bush, they're a little bit smaller. When you find them when they're a little bit more sparse, they're bigger blueberries. My favorite is when you can just basically just peel them right off. I'm also very picky about not having white ones. Sometimes they look blue on the tops, but underneath they're white. These are not like that, but I'm always careful about it. Like that guy there. That's a no-go for me. Basically, the same goes for blueberry picking as in our strawberry patch. You want to try and be delicate with the plant. If you start snapping them and then the blueberries don't get a chance to ripen, well, then nobody gets anything and you're only going to hurt the plant, maybe even for the next year. So I try and be as careful as possible and slowly pick them off. One bucket down. I don't know how many will fit in this blue bucket. Beautiful berries. Probably gonna take about at least one more, if not two more of these to fill this bucket, which is good because we need a lot to sell at the farm market. Keep them back there in the shade so they stay nice. Sammy's working on her own white bucket and blue bucket. Sammy, I seriously think you should come down by me.
Why?
Because there's so many. Look at that in there.
Wow.
Tell me that's not loaded.
Okay, that's pretty loaded.
I told you.
You should let me pick that.
But you can come literally right here. It's the same thing right here and here. I don't pick berries a lot, probably about 5 or 6 times a year. But I know what good picking is when I see it. And this is probably the best I have ever seen. You can literally grab it by the handfuls and just kind of pop them off in your fingers. And they're all nice and blue. And if you want the bigger ones, you kind of go down under the leaves where they're more hidden. People haven't even touched them there yet. And like I said, I'm careful not to knock off all the green berries when pulling off my clusters. Oh my gosh, look at that. Sammy just finished one of her buckets.
Look at that. Ooh, there's a lightning bug. Oh, that's a beetle.
So we just finished up. You can see these two huge bowls. I don't even know how much they weigh. And then right down here, we have two more smaller white ones that we use for strawberry picking. So now we're heading out to go weigh and getting back to the farm market. Sammy and I got back from picking blueberries. Checked on the stuff in the greenhouse, but Mom was already taking care of it. And now I'm just heading home. It looks like we got a really nasty storm coming. You can see how it's pretty dark out there. The sky is just rumbling like crazy. So I'm just getting everything pinned up. That way, if it does get really windy, we hopefully don't have any damage. Man, it looks nasty over there. Sammy and I came out earlier to drop Dad's truck off with the pumpkin seeds in it. He actually just left. My dad did with the tractor, I mean, from planting. They're all in now, which is awesome. Right before this nasty storm we have coming. We're really hoping it's not too bad, but it's not looking good. It looks actually very nasty. These are all the rows, obviously. As long as the rain isn't too bad, which I can't imagine it will be, that should only help the pumpkins grow even faster. It's just lightning though. I'm gonna get out of here before I get struck by lightning. So here it comes. You can see almost blowing in like waves throughout the fields. I just hope for no hail. Man, is it wicked. That's where I'm calling it a wrap for this video. As always, thank you guys for watching, and always remember it ain't much, but it's honest work.